Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 28th of October. With Robert Murray McShane, today we read 1 Timothy chapter 6. And I was struck by verse 17, where Paul writes, "Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment." And that struck me because the world today, in its pursuit for wealth and materialism, misses the boat. And so many people define their worth and their status and their individuality by their wealth, what they wear, the car they drive, where they live, the restaurants they eat at. Now, it is true that wealth will influence our standing in the world, and if you have money, you can do things. But that has no relevance for eternity, because as Paul said a little earlier in verse 7, "For we brought nothing into the world, and we take nothing out of it." And no matter what we have, it all gets left behind. And therefore Paul says, don't rely on it, don't use it to define yourself, don't put your hope in it, because it's pointless. Trust in God, because ultimately God gives us our wealth. Everything we have comes from Him, and He's given it to us to enjoy and to use in His purposes. And we carry on in the next verse. Paul says, "Command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, to be generous, willing to share." And that's the kind of attitude we need to have. We have wealth, God has given it to us, we enjoy it, but we use it, and we're generous, and we make a difference in the world, knowing that ultimately, what we give away and how we give it away, ultimately defines what we take into eternity. And so recognize that all of us are wealthy. We're certainly not as wealthy as some people, but we're a lot more wealthy than others. And we need to thank God for it, thank God for what He's given to us, but we hold it lightly. And our hope isn't in our stuff. Our hope is in our God, who has bought us at a price, made us His sons and daughters, and given us His kingdom. That is true wealth. That is worth pursuing, and that should be how we define ourselves. So be encouraged that is what our Father gives to us generously and freely. Enjoy it.